Okay, congratulations to Coach Dillingham and that staff and those players. They have a good football team, and they got after us in every way today. And I think that's just, obviously for what this game means to everybody here and everybody in this town and everybody in the state. For us to be so unproductive today is soul crushing, I would say. But they're a good team, and I give them credit. Scadaboo is a fantastic player. Just so powerful and runs low to the ground, and he's hard to bring down. The quarterback is really efficient. Their wideouts made some plays, and then they were really effective on defense. And so I give them a lot of credit. They have a good football team, and as much as that hurts me to say, I got to respect it. So we will be, these next couple weeks will be chaos in college football. We'll be getting ready for signing day on Wednesday, which we're excited about. And then working hard to build our roster so that we can play the best football we can possibly play here at the University of Arizona. I love these players. They fought their tails off all year. They went through extreme circumstances with injuries. Lots of guys, that we didn't anticipate counting on were all of a sudden playing meaningful roles for us. And they gave us everything they had, and I thank them for that. I also thank our seniors. There's a really great group of people. Just how they stayed together, everything they did to keep this team together in the transition a year ago. I'm really, really appreciative of them, and a lot of them contributed on the field in such a significant way. So this was a really hard year for everybody associated with the program. But I'm optimistic for the future. I believe in the support we're getting from our athletics director and our president. I'm extremely optimistic about the recruiting class that we're going to put together and the action we're going to get done in the portal. And I believe in our coaches and these players. So I'm excited to move forward. And this year was not fun. It was absolute misery. And there were some fun moments, but not nearly enough. And I feel bad because I feel like I let down these players. I feel like I let down this community. And I feel like I let down this university. And so, this thing starts with me looking in the mirror and doing a hardcore evaluation of the choices and decisions I made, and then building that out with our entire program, every step of the way. The evaluation process begins. So, bear down.
Start with Justin. So after a hard year and how you guys ended with that loss, where do you guys go from here as a program? How do you maybe buy back some of the people who are doubting the direction of the program?
Well, it depends on where their point of reference is. Like if they're going to have to wait 10 months until we win a football game or 9 months, however far away that is, right? Like I'm not going to be able to do it between now and then, But I'll tell you this, you only have one choice when you're in this position, right? And that is to go to work and to believe that you can. And because the other choice doesn't lead to the results you want. Now the good news is I've been through things like this before. I've been a part of a lot of staffs that have taken over programs. So I'm not afraid of the challenges ahead. I'm actually excited about it.
Brian? Can you walk us through some of the fourth down decisions? I think in the first half you opted for the field goal instead of maybe going for it, and then in the second half, I think there was a 4th and 2, it was 35-7. The decision to punt.
So the second half, I'll tell you, we were if we didn't get it, right, we were going to give them the ball on the plus 43 yard line. And the series before, they went 75 yards in 3 minutes and 12 seconds or something like that. It was fast. So that's the one they missed the field goal on. So that was that decision. In the first half, I was just thinking, hey, let's get some points on the board. Let's like start inching our way back into this thing. So that was it.
Michael?
What's your assessment of the team's compete level out there today?
I thought it was really good last week, and I thought today wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? And I also think we played a good team that whooped our butts, right? So it's I think that's what we're all sick about, is how that thing felt, right? Like we chose to defer. We couldn't stop. We had a chance to stop them on 3rd and short. Scadaboo fell forward for the first down, and we didn't stop them. And then they went down and scored, and then we came out, and I think we got 1 first down, and then we punted, and they answered with points. And so they did what good teams do. They played complementary football and with their offense and their defense.
Justin?
What was the process like for Big Jonah this week? Did you feel like maybe he could go? And what do you think about
We were hopeful he could go. He never took real reps in practice. You know, he did some movement, and we thought there was a chance that he'd be able to. But then in his warm-up today, he just couldn't. So that was another, you know, it's a hard part of it. Late in the season, really good player, not able to play, you know, which is just tough, you know.
And then I think it was his first game that he missed in 3 years. How do you reflect on I know you didn't coach him for the first 2 years, but how do you reflect on his career, what he did at Arizona?
Oh, he's just an awesome football player and an even better person. I mean, anyone that knows Big Jonah, just a huge heart, you know, definitely a hard worker, crazy competitor. Like, it's so important to him. And like, I'm excited for the next chapter for him. But I met him on my first day here, and he just had this big smile and gave me this big hug. And he's a really special man.
Ryan, do you do exit interviews with players or year-end type things?
Yep.
And when do you have those? Like
This week.
now and
Yeah, in the next 7 days will be a lot of meeting.
Yeah, and in this era now, does that involve you having to try to make a case for why someone should stay?
Sure.
Anything?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so that
Of
didn't
course,
used to be
yeah.
part of it, right?
What's that?
That didn't used to be part of it before the portal?
No, of course not. Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, it depends, right? Because there might be someone I'm talking to that says like, hey, I'm gonna hit the portal and I'm gonna say good luck to you, right? But then there's gonna be someone else that I'm gonna be like, yeah, dude, we want you to be a part of this thing.
And how do you sell someone on that based off what they've seen so far here compared to what's in the future?
That's a fair question. I think it's a little bit of a leap of faith, you know, but they have been around us. They have been around our coaches. They know our level of ability to teach and coach. I think, I do feel like we have a great relationship with these players. I do think that is strong. I think the culture is healthy. And I think if you want to be a part of building something, great. If you want to go try and jump on a bandwagon somewhere else, if that's who you are, go, right? But, you know, I'm confident that, you know, with everything that's going on within the program, the coaches, the players, where we're at with our administration, the rev share, like all those things, because those are all part of the conversation right now, right? I'm confident that where we're at, I think we'll be in a good spot with retention.
Michael?
Were you disappointed that the team was unable to match the physicality that ASU brought out there, especially with Scattergood running ball?
Yes, I was. Although, you know, I think just some of the pieces, not having some of the pieces available to us that bring a certain level of physicality also makes that picture different, right? Like first stringers are first stringers because they're first stringers, right? And second team guys are second team guys all the way down the line, right? And so that was disappointing. That being said, he does that to everyone they play. And so I look, respect. The guy's a badass, man. You know what I mean?
Matt?
The calendar this year gives you guys a little bit more of an advantage of a traditional recruiting period because you have signing day before the transfer portal opens. But when that portal opens, you don't have relationships with those players to fall back on. So when they are looking for something tangible as far as their trajectory, what can you sell to those guys that you don't have the prior relationships with?
Well, I think those decisions are going to be made quickly. I think some of them are going to be transactional. And I think you have a chance to still bring them here. They can still come to us. So it's a quiet period. It's not a dead period, right, in December. So it is a very, very different. But I do think that this coaching staff and the people that our recruiting staff and our trainers and like everybody that touches Arizona football, I think does a great job of making people feel good when they're around here.
Jason?
In terms of player retention and all that, that's one part. Coaching as well, how will you assess the coaching staff and possible changes?
That starts tomorrow. We have recruits here right now, so I got a busy night ahead of me. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, got to figure out. I mean, like I said, every aspect of the program is under evaluation. Everything.
Jenna in the back?
like T-Mac's last game in Arizona, just, he was able to have a touchdown from Speeda, just, him being honored kind of in that first quarter little ceremony, just what, this whole kind of day, just years meant for you to be able to coach him and interact with him.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about T-Mac. He's an awesome person, and I think, what he has been to this university, what he's been in this community, just how generous he is with his time, how good he is with people. Everybody that comes in contact with him enjoys being around him, and so if he decides to go to the NFL, which I'm assuming, everyone's assuming he is, he hasn't made that official statement yet, but we want what's best for him, right? He's a Wildcat forever. He's a great human being, and everybody will always be rooting for T-Mac, always.
Last question to Justin.
How disappointing was it on that field goal where Wooten came out and drew the false start and backed you guys? What did you make of just that whole sequence?
Yeah, I thought that was ridiculous. I thought that was totally ridiculous. I was extremely frustrated with that moment in the game. Not because of Wooten. That should have been clean. When he came off the field, we should have had that done, right? The guy in charge of that should have had that clean. And so that's on me. That's on me because I'm responsible for all those pieces. And so that stuff should not happen.
And then what was just your final message to the team in the locker room?
My final message to the team was every person in the room has a piece of how we feel right now. Every single one, right? And some pieces are bigger than others, but everybody was involved in that disaster today. And so how committed are you going to be going forward? There's nowhere that you get where you want to go without putting in the work. There's nowhere. And so what is the next month going to look like? What does the next 3 months look like? What is the next 6 months going to look like?
All right, that's our time.